yell Barracuda. Everybody says, huh? What? You yell shark. We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
Shut up. I'm rich. I'm richer than all this, you Hollywood trash.
A, you can never go too far. B, if I'm gonna get busted, it is not gonna be by a guy like that.
I'll be back.
Here's Johnny.
He's Senator Jeff Howe. He's our little lightning rod. That's what we call him here. Senator, how are you?
Terrific. Say, did you see that? Next week, the Senate Republicans will be one seat closer to a majority. We'll be at 433 again.
See, we talked about that, and it's Hitzman? How do I pronounce it? Heitzman. So she wins in Senate District 6. That was Eichhorn's seat for the special election on Tuesday. I found this interesting because I think even you and I talked about it. She was advertising a lot. I mean, to the point that I was seeing ads for her in Blue Earth, Minnesota. I can't be any further away. I don't get the ad buy plan unless you're trying to make some money for something. Anyway, I figured it was because Eichhorn won by like 27%, right, when he ran. Yes. Anything less than that, the Dems are going to say, see, all their stuff is eroding. Their confidence is eroding. So I think she had to win this by a lot. Now, she won by like 21. I mean, it's a runaway.
It was a 60-40 split.
So she wins by 20, and it's like the paper. That's what I thought was going to this. So you're reading the article to see how it went, and they put she did not win by as much as Eichhorn did, but they didn't list the number. Because 60-40 it's a wipe. It's a runaway. It's a special election. Trump wasn't on the ballot. I thought it was interesting the way they wrote it.
That's the fight that we always have with the current media situation, right? Well, it's a tough deal. It was I think it was like 35-day campaign. What do you expect?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it's a special election, so not as many people show up, and yada, yada. Yeah. She won. Congratulations, her. I said this on the show. Sorry, sir. 34-33 and 34-32, there is no difference. And what I mean by that is the other side is not budging an inch. Everything is going right down the party line. I
agree, but it prevents them from letting a person off, right? Because there was votes that went for our amendments went 33-33, so it died. Now that one Democrat won't be able to go over and take that good vote.
Oh, gotcha.
Have to vote with their folks to get the thing or vote against it. So they don't get that free pass anymore.
That's fair enough. It's better than it was. I do got to say thank you to you for the added publicity for the show last week. What I find interesting, and I first I didn't know there was a Mung review. Evidently, the Mung review people, the people that write that paper, didn't know it existed. Okay, fine. They took you a wee bit out of context, my friend. I didn't know. I get an email from a friend saying, hey, you're in the Star Trib. I'm like, what are you talking about? And there's just the name of the show because you were on it and you said this thing. And he goes, and my friend said, what's this all about? I said, well, they put the one line in there, basically what I got, and I'm trying to remember. I said, basically it was talking about the vets in Minnesota need to be taken care of first, and here's why. And it was a 3-minute conversation that they took one line out of, and boy, they were mad at you.
Oh, they still are, let me tell you. You can have your opinion, but you don't get your facts. The facts are the facts, right? And we don't have to go to the road. It always is. I don't whitewash stuff. I am just blunt. I am to a fault. I am honest to a fault, and I don't twist my words for anybody for anything. I just say it, and you know what? It is what it is.
See, that's what I would love about you, Colonel DOGE. But on the other hand, I sit here for those, 30 interviews a week. I'm listening. I had my hair didn't even spike up that you had said anything other than you were hoping to help our vets first. I had no idea this would happen, and then I made the paper. Thanks, buddy.
I'm just trying to give you a little ad publicity there. Spread your, let's spread
the love.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get this program out there. So,
all right.
How about that District 8 Democrat Party chair up there who got charged with vehicular manslaughter or whatever, a hit and run type thing, hit somebody. And they removed her from being the chair, and now she's back being the chair.
She got reelected or something. I saw that. I'm like, how do I put this? And I don't know her. I don't know her life or her style, and maybe I have no idea exactly what happened in the accident. But if you're up for vehicular manslaughter charge, drive vehicular manslaughter, don't you have enough crap to worry about in your life that you don't want to run the GOP up there? You got other things to deal with.
Well, and I seem the same thing about Senator Mitchell, but that doesn't seem to carry any weight. So
I asked, they don't follow her like I wonder. Is she at work every day, Senator Mitchell?
She actually, I tell you what, on the anniversary of her 1-year anniversary of her being charged, she actually spoke on
the floor.
On the floor. No. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was maybe, now she's coming out again, but and I think she also, I think it's amazing. We had an amendment go on a bill, I think it was yesterday or the day before, regarding making video, body cam video public.
Yeah. Whatever happened? They said that was going to happen, and I've not seen it yet.
That went on, much to her chagrin, but it passed because I think 4 Democrats came over and voted with the Republicans, and we'll see when that happens, when we actually get to look at
the video. That'll be interesting. On 2 things on the ethics thing, then, Senator Bobby Joe Champion, he went in and asked for a tell me if I did anything wrong after I did it thing. I don't know how that came out. Did they tell him he was wrong or right? And Senator Mitchell, weren't they looking at whether she should have voted for her own right to vote, whether she could keep her job? What's with the ethics committee? What did they find on those 2 deals?
Well, the one, I'm not quite sure how that vote went down, but I think what happened is I think the Republicans on that ethics committee didn't think they should give an opinion on something that there was a formal ethics charge on. What they believe should have done, you should ask that question for something you hadn't done yet.
Gotcha. Okay,
to make sure you didn't violate, instead of doing something and then asking for the review, and then now you're going to use the review in your defense of the ethics charge that you did it.
Understand.
Right. Okay. And so I think what happened is the Democrats came out and voted that you didn't do anything wrong. And the Republicans abstained because they didn't want to tip their hand on, because they should be concentrating on the actual ethics charge of what he did.
Understand. Yeah. Ruling about whether he should or shouldn't have done it after he did it and then have the trial. I got it. All right. Got to go to break. When we come back, I'd like very much to find out where we're at in the budget process. I'm finding some of the stuff we're arguing about to be, I don't know if ridiculous is the right word, amazing to me. We'll talk about that after this with Senator Jeff Howe on the Al Travis Show.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria. Some like to experience the outdoors and all the fun winter in Minnesota can provide. Pick your favorite way to get in touch with nature. Others like to explore downtown in the warm comfort of a boutique or gathered around a table with friends. You can do all of that or relax and do nothing at all. Come explore Alexandria. Start planning at explorealex.com.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
You don't need to ask him his opinion more than once. Al Travis on The Al Travis Show.
Love having him on. He's Senator Jeff Howe. Senator, just quickly, I'm not catching how everybody gets to be on all sides of things. The Democratic Party was very upset that Trump wants to get rid of the Department of Education. This is going to harm our children. This is going to take money away from those that desperately need it, yada, yada, yada. Then the Department of Education here in Minnesota comes out and says, we're not going to follow the Department of Education's mandate that we get rid of DEI. You can keep your money. Well, what is it? Do we need the money or we not? Well, you want the Department of Education. The Department of Education said, we're not doing this DEI thing anymore. You're like, well, I'm not listening to you. How many ways from Friday can the Democrats have on the Department of Education? You got one now, but you don't want to listen to it. And you're going to lose money.
And guess what? Now they're putting contingency plans in place and we just passed a what do they call it? A
amendment?
We passed a bill regarding a housing, right? A housing bill.
Yep.
And in there was funding for this, that, and the other thing. Now we come along with a public safety, a judiciary bill that in case that the federal government doesn't give us this, we're going to take that money and we're going to move it over here. That's money you already spent. Oh, but in case of this, that the federal government doesn't give us this, we're going to take that money and put it over here. And I'm going, I've never seen that done before. That bill was passed. That's gone. Yeah. You can't go back and now redo that bill in this bill. That doesn't work. How does that balance?
Well, let me throw this at you. When they were all in charge 2 years ago and had all the money God ever could give you, $18 billion extra, they gave illegal immigrants in Minnesota free Minnesota care. They told us it'd be about 5,000 people, and you're like, you know what? Whether I would have done or not doesn't matter. You guys are in charge. I got it. Well, what do you know? In the first 3 months, this thing has 17,000 people signed up, not 5, all legal immigrants. And you're looking at a $6 billion deficit down the road. Last thing added, first thing taken off sort of thought in my book. I'm sorry, guess what? We can't afford that anymore. Maybe it could when there's $18 billion lying around. We can't. And yet they're saying you can't get rid of it. It's not that big a deal. They're not spending that much money yet. Well, it's only been 3 months.
But we're gonna cut nursing home aid, and we're gonna cut. What are we doing to ourselves? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I don't know why we can't just do the common sense piece and say, you know what, we'd love to do this for you, but we got to take care of our elderly and our vulnerable people first before we start taking care of you folks that haven't figured out how to become citizens yet. And you know what? I will say this. We need to fix our immigration point to where some of these people that are here will not creating crime and actually want to be U.S. citizens. We should make that path just a bit easier. And it shouldn't cost you so much. I know someone that did the process right, came in here legally, went through the whole process. It cost her close to $15,000 to become a citizen.
Oh, and that isn't right. I've got it. That's not right. But that's another issue. This is money. Now I'm talking like
I agree.
We're getting hit up by the schools, the universities saying they're going to have to raise tuition for up to 18%, buddy, up to 18%. And this is the same time the Democrats, back when we had all the money in the world, said illegal immigrants, people here who aren't here legal, can go to school free. Don't worry about it. We'll pick up the tab. Is that something we could come back with and say, that's not working? The schools will yell. They love the free money.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? If you don't make over... it's one thing if you don't make over $80,000 to pay your kids' tuition. We can have that debate. But now you're not here legally. You know, you just came across the border for a free education. What's wrong with that, right?
Well, my point is, these seems like things we could really talk about. So far, I hear no one talking about it. It's like, no, we're not talking that. We finally got that passed. We're not going to do this. What's going on? You had a legacy bill and an ag bill. I've got 5 minutes.
Well, the ag bill, it went through. I still have a problem. Here's the problem that I brought up. Here you go. They're going to have this grain handler fees or this grain fee for elevators.
Mm-hmm.
It's going up substantially. What I think is a red herring they've got these folks they're going to charge them. I think one elevator told me it's going to cost them $36,000 for these drain inspections, right? But they can go and join and opt out of the state program and go into the federal program. It's going to cost them half as much, $18,000. So they've got all this money program that they're going to get from these elevator inspections, all these grain fees.
Yep.
And what I see happening, most of them are going to shift over to the federal program. We're not going to get any of that money, and they're going to be in a deficit next year because they didn't see this train coming, and they've been told this. They don't care. They're going to The problem that I see is we're sitting here talking about we need to cut. Every bill that's come through has had an increase in operating expenses and an increase in fees. Not a one has cut any of that. They've actually increased all of it.
See, and that's why this just doesn't fly in the long run. But you talk about not looking ahead and saying, hey, we saw this coming. They told us this was going to come and you pass it. It's the same thing with the Minnesota Care. The paper wrote something. They're very shocked with the number of people signed up for free health care. This is going to shock you. How about if we paid you $100 to take our free health care? Then you'd even have more people.
Can I go across the border and come back and say I'm illegal and get on that train?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's crazy to me, and I don't know if we're getting anywhere. So to do this in the last 2 minutes, there's literally, now we're down to 3 weeks, not quite 3 weeks to get everything done. I see it almost everything 34-33 as far as the voting goes. Is there any chance this gets done? The bonding?
I don't think this plane has landing gear, and I don't think there's enough PFAS foam to put on the runway to land it.
Wow, that doesn't make a guy feel excited. Thank you for that. Wow. Okay.
I just don't see it. They don't even have joint targets yet on money. It's one thing to go in and talk about what programs and how you're going to spend the money, but if you don't have a joint target, how do you go into a conference committee when I'm spending $20 million more than you're spending in your budget? On this program.
See, but why is that happening like that? Why are we running like we've never done this before? I'm missing something.
Some of the folks have never done this before.
Okay. Well, it's probably the first time it has been first that the House is on a completely
This is historic,
even
right? We've never had this before. And guess what? On the House side, I heard they killed the education bill and rules.
I just read that.
So that's a debacle. How do you guys all agreed to this jointly, and now you killed the bill?
Yeah, and to get that back, somebody said it'd take like 19 days. You'll run out of days to get work done if they got to go bring that all back.
I don't know how. Right, I don't know how you do this. Good luck. The good Lord's going to have to smile on us and parts to make this all work, because I've never seen it before.
Don't plan any trips in June, okay? I think you're going to be busy. Don't go anywhere.
Hopefully I can. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not even in. I'm into July already. I'm Xing out July. So
fair enough. Appreciate you, friend. I really do appreciate you being on. Senator Jeff Howe on the Al Travis Show.
Dust from livestock buildings can be harmful.